Alright, I'm live.
Huh?
Said I'm live. Hey, how we going out there, guys? Live here at Juniors Raceway, ready to finish off, hopefully, the race for freedom. That's the wrong sign up there, but waiting for a few people to get in. Let's tag them in. Let's get them in here. Let's get things started. How's everybody doing tonight? Alright. Who will make it to that podium tonight? Win that beautiful sign by merch by Meekin. Who's going to be that race for freedom winner tonight? Alright. There's who's left. All the racers lined up. Ready to light them up. Alright. Don't forget, go over to Juniors Raceway or get a hold of me, whatever you gotta do, but watch that Race for Freedom introduction video with all the racers and vote for your best in show. We'll probably let that go on for a month or so. I think we only got like 5 votes in right now, so tell everybody, let them know I need help for that best in show. Not only these rides, but the previous rides that went out in the first round. Alright. And we'll pay special tribute to, yeah, fully 100% there, Stephen Page. Hopefully get all 100. Alright, but also, we lost a racer, so Joe, Uncle Joe, let's pay a special tribute to him tonight. He'll be looking over and racing with us. Or maybe if we want, maybe we'll... Alright, there we go. Sorry folks, it's raining here, so looks like we lost connection there. Alright racers, can you hear me? Can you see me? I hope so. I don't know, but if you guys want, I got 2 stock cars here. I graphited them, or I should say the ladies graphited them for us over there at the Summit shop. Stop by and get your best graphite on your tires today. Alright, but anyways, maybe we can throw Uncle Joe in the race tonight. And Mr. Avocado said something about losing his ride, so maybe we'll make them race to make it in the round 2. What do you guys think? Give me some opinions out there while we're waiting. Shouldn't wait too long though, we got a lot of things going on. Alright, this is Juniors Raceway. I am Randy Jr. Some call me the Tooth Fairy. And we are here at Juniors Raceway for the Race for Freedom. We're going to get them down through the track. Buy all these beautiful merch by Meekin signs. Not only those, I got nice ones up there. A few of them by my wife also. Alright, but those track signs are way cool. Alright, gonna go past the He-Man characters through the campground. Alright, there. Hopefully make it, guys. I don't know, keep losing connection. Hope you guys bear with me. Alright, coming down past that Let's Go Brandon sign and the beautiful Juniors Junkyard sign over there. And what I call my farmland. That'd be technically turn 2 there. If you get too tired tonight, you can always stay at the Wigwam Hotel. Alright, come down into turn 3. where the IROCs are set up ready to race for the next video. Somebody's gonna win that beautiful sign. Can't wait to get that one fit. Come on by where all the prizes are you guys are trying to win tonight. Alright. Come on down past the crash rescue station. Mr. Sean DeLong's on duty for us tonight. There we go. Turn 4. Mr. Bigfoot set up down a little straightaway into turn 5 where the food trucks are hanging out. Stop by and get you some donuts or whatever you need back there. And come down into the larger Dodger corner. Cross by the Sudden Death Autobots and Moon Lane, I guess you can call it. Coming on down to that Mr. Avocado / JLX Crafts timer there. Just got started, Mr. Arlo. In time. I think we're going to have a special race. What do you guys think? Mr. Avocado against Uncle Joe there. I think I see Mr. Avocado on, isn't he? You want that Corvette, Mr. Avocado? What do you think back there? Do it? Right?
Huh?
Run it?
Sure.
Alright, guys.
Odd number, so we're going to need an even. We need to make it even.
No, I think this is going to make it odd, actually, but that's okay. Alright, guys. Special tribute race. I think we lost Mr. Avocado's car, so we're going to throw him in that Corvette right there. And Mr. Uncle Joe, he joined the race. Special tribute to him. Rest in peace, my buddy. And he's going to be in that beautiful Mustang. He's also over here. Alright, guys. Best 2 out of 3. See who's going to make it into the round 2 here. Get this kicked off. Race for freedom here. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. That's Mr. Avocado out in front. Can Joe catch him? Comes that Corvette. 83093. Mr. Avocado in that 76 Corvette. Hope we don't have to mark it. Might have to. Another one's got number 12 on it, so we're okay. Alright, Uncle Joe moves over to lane 1. Mr. Avocado over to lane 2. Alright, how we doing out there? Let's light them up. Here we go. Uncle Joe needs to tie it up to stay alive. Here we go. Here it comes. It's close. They're battling back and forth. And here comes Mr. Avocado. The 98492. Moving on to round 2. Mr. Avocado in that Corvette. And Mr. Uncle Joe putting it away. But guess what? You get to move on to the next track anyways. So keep on racing, buddy. Keep on racing. Alright, so we'll need a Mr. Avocado tag thrown in the bucket back there. Alright, guys, let's get round 2 started. Are we ready? Are you ready? I guess let's get the national anthem kicked it off. Whoops, we did a little backwards, didn't we? That's okay. Sorry about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise for your national anthem and a moment of silence for Uncle Joe there. Here we go.
Moment of silence.
Let's race.
Alrighty. First up, we have Ruckus
Ruckus.
Racing in that El Camino.
All right. These are random draws out of that Saints bucket back there. So Ruckus Racing, he's got both his rides in? Yes, he does. So which one is this one again?
This is the El Camino, the winged
The
one.
wing one. Ruckus Racing in that El Camino Stars and Stripe Edition winged version. Sorry there. Here we go. He's starting out in lane 1.
Going up against Jeremy Rodriguez in the Love USA.
Uh-oh.
69 Camaro.
Uh-oh. The Love USA. One of those cars that got my vote for best in show. So we got Ruckus versus Jeremy up there. Best 2 out of 3. Moving on to round 3. Here we go. Kicking it off. Let's light them up. Here they go. It's a close one, but that, I can't tell. I think that El Camino's out in front. Yeah. Here comes the El Camino of Ruckus Racing. Putting the time in 9.4772. I don't know what happened to the Love Camaro, but come in backwards. Coming backwards late. Alright, so Ruckus moves over to lane 2. He's up by 1. Mr. Jeremy Rodriguez in that 69 Camaro over in lane 2. Needs to tie it up here. Here we go. Let's light him up. Here they go. Jeremy's out in front a little bit. Here he comes. He might do it. I'm losing on me. He's kicking in the speed. Wow. 7.4098. And Jeremy just tied it up. First race of the night with an impressive time. Is that the fastest time of the race so far, maybe?
Oh, no, not of the, including last week's, no.
All right.
Just shy. We got the Ryan in a 7.38.
So Ryan in that, I think he's right there. Yes, he is. 7.38.
Yep.
7.38 is the time to beat tonight,
Now
guys.
Jeremy's right on.
All right. Here we go. I can't remember, Jim. Let me give me a second. I think so, buddy. No, didn't you have that Firebird? Isn't that you right there? Can't remember. All right, but we're all tied up here. All right, Ruckus is in lane 1, correct? First drawn out. Jeremy in lane 2. All tied up, sudden death. Ready to light them up and roll out, as the Autobots would say. All right, here we go. Start tagging people in. Let's get them in here. Race for freedom. Here we go. It's close. Oh, a little bit of pushing up there in lane turn 1. Oh, he passed him. He passed him on the edge. 8.6680. Replay. Here we go. Ruckus was behind, or the Love Machine was behind and drove around him for the win. First race of the night, and we got a pass. Look at that. Wow. We are here to race tonight, guys. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, grandmas and grandpas, countrymen all over. All right, so I'm going to say, there's that tag. Woo, what a race, what a race. What happened to Ruckus? He got put in the, over here in the corner by the food trucks and the Race for Freedom wall, so you don't hit that bookshelf there. All right, man. I really thought Ruckus had it, and he drove right around him. What a race, what a race.
All right, next up we have Crazy Canuck in the Mustang.
Crazy Canuck, uh-oh. And that beautiful Mustang. All right. He's a Canadian in the Race for Freedom. See how far he makes it. Everybody's gunning for you, buddy. Good luck. All right, who's he?
Ryan Lopez in the Challenger Drift.
The Dodge Challenger. He's got a Dodge Challenger and a Corvette, so it's got to be the Challenger. The Pineapple Machine. Mr. Arlo. All right, guys. Crazy Canuck versus Arlo. Best 2 out of 3. See who's the second racer. Moving on. All right. All right, that's Kay up there driving, I guess. Mr. Arlo's in his other ride. Kay versus Crazy Canuck. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. It's close. It's real close. I think the Crazy Canuck's a little bit out in front, but Kay's trying. She pushing them, but oh man, pushes them to the win. 9-3-7-2-2. Kay actually had it, but Crazy Canuck was blocking her, and she couldn't get away around them. Wow. Man, we got some racing going on tonight, don't we? Alright, so Crazy Canuck pulls over to lane 2. Kay moves over to lane 1. Needs to tie it up. Alright, here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Kay jumps out in front a little bit. Can she keep the lead? Coming around. Crazy Canuck's trying. He bumps her, but ties it up with a 7-8-8-2-7. Brings out those Autobots. All tied up. Second race of the night, second tie, huh? Yep. Alright, so Crazy Canuck is in lane 1, correct? Kay's in lane 2. Alright. Ready to light them up here at Race for Freedom. Here we go. Here he comes. Oh, it's Crazy Canuck out in front. Keeps the lead with the 8-2-3-8-5. And puts Kay on the trailer. Alright. Crazy Canuck moving on by the skin of his teeth. Alright, so wow, my hand's going numb already. Phone is heavy. Alright guys, who is up next?
We've got the big LC and the 3D printed charger.
Uh-oh. Luthel Church and that 3D printed charger. Alright guys. Here we go. Who's going to challenge him?
Ryan Kelly and the Plymouth Suster.
Ryan Kelly. Uh-oh. The fastest ride of last week's race. Luthel Church has got his hands full here. But so does Mr. Ryan Kelly. Alright, best 2 out of 3. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Looks like Luthel Church is out in front. Kelly's trying, but cannot pass them. 7-8-4-3-7. Luthel Church takes race 1. Alright, so Mr. Ryan Kelly moves over to lane 1, down by 1. Luthel Church pulls over to lane 2. Alright. Are we ready? Race 2. Here we go. Can't tell who's out front. Looks like Ryan Kelly's out in front. Puts a move on Luthel Church, but he's losing a little steam. And 9-6-7-11 ties it up. And third race of the night.
Yep. 3 for 3 on the Autobots.
Bringing out those Autobots. Going to make us work for our money tonight. All tied up. Luthel Church and Ryan Kelly. Alright, so Luthel Church was in lane 1. Ryan Kelly's in lane 2. Sudden death match here. Alright, how's it going out there? Let's light them up. Sudden death. Here we go. And it looks like Luthel Church has got the lead. Ryan Kelly got sideways back there. And I heard him drop off by Bigfoot and gives it to Luthel Church. 7-8-9-16. So Luthel Church just put away the fastest ride here in the Race for Freedom so far. Making a statement for himself. Alright. Whoa, switched it around. What am I doing? How do I do it? How y'all doing out there? I don't know how to switch it back. There we go. That's the button. Ooh, shot in my face. How'd y'all like that? That scared you.
Yeah, that beard. Alright, next up we have High Octane in that Skyline.
Uh-oh. Mr. High Octane, I believe he already won a race tonight. So see if he can make it 2-0 on the day. All right. Here we go, Mr. High Octane in that beautiful Skyline. Probably the only Skyline you'll see me root for. Well, depending on who he's going against.
He's going up against Chad.
Citron?
No, it's Gyron. Ford Shelby GT.
Ford Shelby GT. All right, 2018?
I didn't put a year on it.
All right, it's got to be that guy right there.
It should say his name. Yeah.
And he had two cars. He had two cars in, so.
Let me double check.
All right, we think it's that one. There's another one here close to it, but that's.
Yeah, because he's got an 18. There's also another one. Okay, hold on.
All right, we believe it's this one, but
18 on this one.
let's double check.
Oh shoot. Okay, that's the wrong car.
That's
You need another one.
There's another one.
That should just say Ford Shelby GT. Or no, it should just say Shelby.
Where are you? Is that you? Yep, right there. There you are.
Okay, so we do
Found it. All right. Just in time. He just popped on.
Okay.
All right. You ready to race, buddy? You're here.
God.
Let's get ready. Let's line you up. You're against High Octane. High Octane in lane 1. Chad in lane 2. All right. Are you ready? That Skyline versus that Ford Mustang. I'm going to have to root for the Mustang because I want an American car to win this race for freedom. All right. But I'm also going to root for High Octane. All right. I don't know who. Somebody win it. Let's go. Let's race. Here they come. Skyline jumps out in front. Can he keep the lead? Here he comes. Oh, he got past. He got past big time. 86680. Chad drove right around him. Replay big time. Got High Octane sleeping. High Octane thought he had it, but no.
Man, oh, look at
that. Oh, my Lord. So High Octane is in trouble now.
High Octane.
Let off the gas. What'd you do, buddy? You don't do that. His foot slipped, didn't it? All right. So Chad is up by 1. High Octane needs to tie it up to stay alive, or Chad will move on in that Ford Mustang. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. Here they come. And I can't tell. That's Chad out in front. Can High Octane catch him? He's trying, but I think Chad just put High Octane away. Wow. What a statement. 7-9-5-6-4. Mr. High Octane. Beautiful ride, but going on to the next track, sir, as Chad moves on to the next round. Moving on with those 4 so far. Some serious racers tonight. All right. You gave it too much in that other race, High Octane. Your foot pedal fell asleep, wasn't it? Overused it today. All right, let's get those next racers up here and line them up.
All right, we've got Andrew Logden back and a Dodge Dart with a cat as the driver.
Dodge Dart. All right, give me 1 second to. These cars get painted, they're a little hard to tell. Is it Andrew? Alright, this one right here. There we go. Those Dodge Darts, those really throw me off. I don't know why. What's funny is I had one of these as in my neighborhood as a child. It was an all blue one. But for some reason the Dodge Darts and the Hot Wheels really throw me off. Alright. So that is Andrew in that Dodge Dart with Cat driving, I guess. All right.
He's going up against Mr. Dart in the 67 Chevelle.
Uh-oh, Mr. That's the Plymouth. Where's this other one then? So both of his rides made it in, huh? Ooh, what'd you say, the 67 Chevelle?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Dart. All right, Lethal Church. You made it on, buddy. Who'd you beat? You beat somebody good.
Ryan Kelly with the fastest car.
Oh, you beat Ryan Kelly, the fastest car of last week's race. So right there's a 4 moving on. But right now we got Andrew in lane 1, waiting for Mr. Dart pulling up in lane 2. We got a Dodge Dart versus a Chevelle up there. SS. All right, let's get them down. Let's light them up. Here we go. That Dodge Dart jumped out in front, coming into the farmland, coming in. Mr. Dart was right on his bumper, but couldn't make the pass. And 8-2-1-9-6 as Mr. Dart loses it right before the finish line. Andrew takes lane 1. Andrew moving over to lane 2. Mr. Dart moving over to lane 1. All right, guys, we're going to move it fast so that way we can get all this in tonight. So here we go. Let's light them up. Looks like that Dodge Dart is out in front. I think so. Here he comes. Andrew's looking good. Got a bump from Mr. Dart. Got another bump. Is going to get help from his friend. I think he might. And Andrew, wow. 11. Not the fastest time. It's not how you finish.
But if you
finish. And Andrew finished right in front of Mr. Dart. Taking Mr. Dart's beautiful Chevelle out. Wow. All right. 5th car moving on. You do have Mr. Avocado in this round too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next up we've got Rust Belt's Mustang.
Uh-oh, I know where that one is. The Mustang. He calls it the Gauntlet, but should have been called the Gladiator, I think. All right. Back-to-back world champions, he thinks, huh? Let's see if he can do it here. See if he can do it. He's in lane 1. See if he can take that race for freedom.
All right, lane
He is
2.
giving you guys a custom page of water slides. He makes beautiful things. Beautiful water slides. So Mr. Cupcake in that Mustang against
Rod Seibel in the 68 AMC Rebel.
AMC Rebel. Who's it again? Let's see, there's
Rod.
That was one Rebel. Where's the other Rebel? Right here. All right, Mr. Rod. And that Rebel looks stock, but it is modified. Wow, beautiful job. All right. All right. Here we go. What do you mean, what were the results? We're still racing there, buddy. You're in round 3. But we're still racing here in round 2. We got the Cupcake up there versus Mr. Rod S. That Mustang versus that Chevelle. Here we go. Let's light them up. Looks like the Mustang pulled out in front. Can he keep the lead? Oh, the Chevelle or the AMC got a little sideways. And Mr. Cupcake comes in with 9.0045. As Rod loses it right in front of the crash rescue. Just does a little burnout right there. He moves over to lane 1, down by 1. And Mr. Cupcake moves over to lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. All right, let's light him up. Here we go. Looks like Rod's out in front, and Cupcake's losing the track back there. 7, 8, 1, 2, 6. Tied up. Bring out those Autobots, which are popular tonight. All right. Cupcake in lane 1 in that Mustang. Mr. Rod in that AMC Rebel. In lane 2, sudden death match. Here we go. Let's roll out. Here we go. Looks like Cupcake got in the head. Got the lead. And Rod spun out there, and so did Cupcake. double DNF, but nothing to do with each other. Just too much power. Alright, so let's collect them here. You get, this is the second round, so you only get 2 DNFs before we go to DNF rules this round. Only 2 DNFs, so if one more DNF, we go to DNF rules, which is the furthest on the track wins it. And these guys are in a sudden death match right now. And here we go, let's light them up. Here they come. Josh is out in front, Cupcake's taking the lead. That AMC's catching them, but not close enough. 7, 8, 1, 2, 9. That beautiful Mustang moving on. And putting Rod away. Alright. Here we go, where we at?
Alright, next driver is Stephen Ennis in the 70 Camaro.
Stephen Ennis in a Camaro. Alright, I think that's the only Camaro here. Where is he? Right here? Alright, Mr. Stephen. Stephen, I believe he's on. Are you ready to race, sir? Because your car is up next. You're in lane 1. Who are you going up against?
Ryan Kelly in the 68 Cougar.
Uh-oh. Ryan Kelly?
Yep.
Ryan Kelly and the Cougar. Oh, the Cougar. Ryan Kelly. Alright. That beautiful 68 Cougar. I need to modify one of these next. I need to modify one of those. I got enough of them. Got them sitting up here. My mom had one of those when I was younger, so I can't really see them too much, but got a bunch of Cougars sitting up there. Don't want them no justice sitting up there, but they're up there. Alright, but we got Mr. Steven versus Ryan Kelly. That 70 Camaro RS versus that 68 Cougar. Alright, here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Looks like that Cougar's out in front. He gets a little battle back and forth, and Steven spun it back there. 9-0-1-3-4. Steven collected himself and then flipped it over here. Wow. Alright, whoop, knocked over my custom tooth fairy ride there. Mr. Cupcake built that for me. Alright, but that Cougar goes up by 1 and he was in lane 2, right? Yep. Alright, Steven pulls over to lane 2. He's down by 1. He needs to tie it up. Stay alive. Mr. Ryan Kelly's in lane 1 now. Alright, let's light him up, guys. How's that view? How's the sound? How's the racing? How are you? Let's go. Here we go. That Cougar jumped out in front, taking a big lead. Steven's trying to catch him. Wow, look at that. Making up time. And wow, Steven gave it all he had. Look at that. Right at the finish line. Man, Steven was racing, boy, but just did not have enough for Mr. Ryan Kelly and that Cougar, putting in a 7.7535. Alright, Mr. Avocado up there collecting your times. Go to see him for every time you need. No. For your best time, I guess you could say. Go see him for your best time. There you go. Alright, get these guys moving forward a little bit. Pull your cars up, guys. Come on. That third round group is looking good. Alright, who is up next?
We got Matt Langfield in a 12 Camaro.
Matt, I believe, is that 12 Camaro? There we go. Alright. He put in 2 very similar cars. It was a little bit, one was a Camaro and one was a Mustang. I was ashamed I couldn't tell them apart, but here we go. Matt in lane 1. Who's got lane 2?
Lane 2 is Willie Maycat.
Alright, Mr. Willie Maycat.
69 Dodge Charger.
69 Dodge. Where are you, buddy? That's Jeremy. Willie. That's my car. I'm not looking on that one. I got an AMC X for Willie. So both of Willie's cars made it in. You sure it was, I got an AMC X, baby. nasty. Alright, let me take a look at all these guys. See what we got here. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Oh, right there. I found it. I found it. I found it. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. We got Matt up there. He just got his track together. Beautiful track. Would love to send some customs your way, buddy. Oh, that's right. I'm sending a Honda your way. Alright. Maybe the Trucks, Bugs, and Rallies can come visit you. They're already over at Shredder Speedway. They're over there. Trucks, Bugs, and Rallies. Alright. The Race for Freedom is going to go Juniors Raceway, over the Race for 2026 Raceway, over the Shredder Speedway, and back to TFT. And there will be a winner at each track. Everybody will get their own custom sign and a few extras. But right now we got Matt waiting for us, burning up his tires in that 2012 Camaro, and Mr. Willie Makeit in that 69 Dodge Charger. Alright guys, are we ready? Let's light them up. Here we go. And Matt takes a big lead, jumps out in front. Can he hold him off? Oh, he got the little swirly there, but kept it together. 80713. Mr. Matt and Willie got sideways right there. Alright, so Willie comes over to lane 2, right? And Matt goes over to lane... No, Matt goes over to lane 2 and Willie comes over to lane 1. Willie needs to tie it up right here, right now, or Matt will take it and move on to round 3. Here we go. Slide him up. Matt jumped out in front again. Can he keep the lead? He got spun backwards and Willie's right at his door. Oh, he pushed him over. Can Willie... He got it started going again. Here he comes. Ain't not how you finish, but if you finish 13-1-7-6. Cause
look at him good.
They got in a little
there
fight.
It is. Okay.
He got going again.
He's able to jump
But it doesn't matter. He tied it up, stayed alive, did what it needed, did what he needed, and put Matt on his roof. All right, Matt's not happy. He's pulling over to lane 1. Willie's pulling over to lane 2. All right, it's all tied up. We ready to roll out? All right, let's go. Slide them up. Here they come. Matt jumps out in front again. Can't keep it on all fours. Here he comes. He's looking good this time. Taking care of business. 77119. Mr. Matt moving on. All right. And sorry, Mr. Willie Makeit, putting that beautiful Dodge Charger back on the hauler. Might be a comeback shot, though. Alright, guys.
Alright, next up we have Stephen Ennis is back.
Steven.
It's an 18 Ford Mustang.
Alright, right there he is.
Drive around before.
Alright, who's he going against?
Arlo in that
Camaro or Corvette?
Corvette.
Alright. Ford versus Chevy here. Mr. Arlo starting out in lane 2. Steven in lane 1. Mustang versus Corvette up there. Alright, here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Steven's out in front. Can Arlo pass him? Steven gave him a little shot back there, and Arlo tried. And they're bumping back and forth. Steven is backwards, and Arlo could not make past him. 11-5-2-5-5. Steven was blocking him. Blocking him the whole way. Look at that. Arlo could just not find enough real estate to get around him. So Arlo moves over to lane 1 now. Steven pulls over to lane 2. Alright. Arlo needs to win this and tie it up. Stay alive. Here we go. Arlo jumps out in front. He must have heard me. Here he comes, looking good, looking fast. 8:05:10. Arlo doing what it needed and tied it up. Bring out those Autobots. Stephen Page put it on its roof. All right, but Stephen Page, reset it here. Stephen Page back in lane 1. Arlo in lane 2. Sudden death match here. Who is going to come out on top? Who's going to race to the top for Race for Freedom? Here we go. Here they come. Arlo's giving it all he's got. And he jumps out in front, getting sideways backwards, looking for Steven. They both blew some pistons, but Arlo came across to the 10. 1, 8, 6, 5. And putting Steven back on the trailer. Wow. That's how you come back from a... That's how you come back. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Next up, we have Matt back on the field.
Matt back on the field. Where right here? Here we go. I know where you're at now. Can Matt make both his vehicles in the round 3? Here's that Mustang. The Camaro already made it, so whoever's racing Matt, we need to race him hard. Watch it be me. Here we go.
Nope, it's not. It's NDR entry, the Ford Maverick.
All right, Macho Man. All right, beautiful ride. Still hasn't got a vote. I'm surprised. Remember, guys, get a hold of me. Go over to Junior's Raceway for that vote for that best in show.
That was the one I was looking at.
All right. I think we only got like 5 votes right now, so one car has 2 votes, I believe. All right, but right now we got Matt in that 2015 Mustang GT. It gets NDR entries in that Ford Maverick. Macho Man. All right, are we ready? Best 2 out of 3 here at Race for Freedom. Slide them up, boys. Here they come. Looks like Matt jumped out in front. Oh, the NDR was trying, but just could not find a way around them. Oh, my Lord. What happened? Oh, my Lord.
I think it's Matt, but...
I think it's Matt by...
a nose hair. Because he catches up. Yep, it was.
That's Matt. Wow, what a close finish. All right. Wow. Macho Man was trying. He was flying.
Back, yeah.
One more track and he might have made it around Matt. All right. So Macho Man moves over to lane 1. All right. Somebody tag him in here. Tag Nick in. All right. And Matt pulls over to lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. So Macho Man needs to tie it up to stay alive. Are you ready? Here we go. Looks like Macho Man jumped out in front. Can he keep the lead? Matt's coming up. And look at, oh, Matt tried to pass but made a mistake.
Oh.
And gave it to Macho Man. 86107. Wow. Bringing out the Autobots.
Again.
It's popular tonight. And Matt, he pulled off for a snack over here. All right, but Matt was chosen first, right? So he's in lane 1.
Correct.
All right, Macho Man is in lane 2. All right, here we go. Who wants it more? Who's hungrier for that Race for Freedom? It's all tied up here. Slide them up. Here they come. It's like Matt jumped out in front. Macho Man's trying, but I don't know. Oh, Macho Man lost it back there. 77307. And Matt putting his second ride in the round 3. That makes them dangerous, boys and girls. That makes them dangerous. Who all wants to team up against them? Nope. And look at that. These cars are parked right next to each other, guys. There might be some scheming going on here. Yep. Alright, look at that Macho Man spun out right there. Darn. Beautiful ride. I'm sure it should get a vote or two. Back on the trailer. Back on the trailer for you. Alright. Getting close, guys, getting close. Appreciate you sticking around. Long race, but good racing, good racing.
All right.
I appreciate you guys letting me put this on. Appreciate all the sponsors. You know, Tim, he's going to send me some stuff. You know, Cupcake there. Slam Man. JLH. Me, of course, donating some prizes. And merch by Mika, man, he's a big sponsor for everybody, guys. Get a hold of him, purchase his signs. He got signs, t-shirts. I'm sure you've seen it earlier. I'm actually wearing one of his. Got beautiful t-shirts, all kinds of things, glasses, cutting boards. He even made my wife something special in a heart slate. So get a hold of him, get your stuff today, and let's get back to racing. Here we go.
First up we have is Robert Stoner in a 70 Camaro.
Should be this guy right here, right? Oh, nice, beautiful looking ride. I hope this one makes it far. Mr. Robert Stoner in that 70 Camaro, and who's he going up against?
Mr. Dark, the Miss Nefarious in that 68 Plymouth.
All right, where is it? Where is it? Right there. The Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Oh man, another beautiful ride. I believe this is capable for a top time. All right, Mr. Dark pulls into lane 2. Mr. Stoner. Mr. Stoner in lane 1. All right, let's light him up. The cars, not the joints. Here we go. Stoner out in front. Getting a little swirly. Got it sideways. Dark right on his door, but Stoner got it together. 9, 4, 9, 1, 8. They were all over, but Stoner taking care of business. All right, Stoner moving over to lane 2. Mr. Dark pulling over to lane 1. Can he tie it up and stay alive? Or will Robert Stoner move on to round 3? Here we go. That's Mr. Dark in the lead. Can he keep the lead? Oh, Bob's keep wanting to say Bob. 9, 7, 9, 4, 4, 9. Wow. It was close, but Stoner wanted to drive around him, but did not have enough road there. Ooh, should have took the high side. He took the low side and paid the price. You should know, take the high side, Stoner. All right. So that means it's all tied up.
Yep,
Stoner in lane 1. Mr. Dark in lane 2. All right. See Mr. Sean Cook popping on. How you doing, sir? Halfway through the race for freedom. Trying to find a winner. Here we go. Slide him up. That Camaro jumps out in front. Stoner's got the lead right now. I'm losing him. There he goes. 7.3655. Is that it? 7.3655. The fastest lap of the race for freedom so far goes to Bob Stoner in that Camaro. Wow. And unfortunately, he just did it to Mr. Dark in that Hemi Cuda. Putting him back on the trailer. Sorry there, sir, but thanks for racing. Wow, the fastest time. Beautiful car. Now that deserves a vote or two. Alright. Who is up next?
Okay, we've got Ruckus Racing in the
El Camino.
El Camino.
El Camino, Mr. Ruckus Racing. His vehicle's got lost in the mail, actually. I got a package from the mailman that said, sorry, your package was opened. So.
Oh, and when that mailman rang the doorbell, he just had this look of defeat, like, I don't know what happened.
Yep, so we donated some cars for him. Alright.
Then he's going up against Paul in the 84 Corvette.
Paul? Alright, Paul O. Sorry guys, don't, some of your last names as hard as my last name. Alright, but beautiful Corvette there. Number 12 on the back of that, so you can tell the difference there. Alright, Ruckus Racing in that El Camino versus Paul in that beautiful Corvette. Nice looking lineup up there for the Race for Freedom. Alright, who's going to take it? Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. Here they go. And I can't tell that the Corvette's out in front. Ruckus is trying, but did not have enough track. 79915. Paul taking it from the outside. Alright, so that puts Ruckus in lane 2. Paul in lane 1. Alright, are we ready? Can Ruckus tie it up, or will Paul put him away? Here we go, let's light him up. That Corvette jumped out in front, firing on all cylinders right now, but oh wow, that El Camino caught up to him. Wow, but did not have enough. 80425. Wow, that was close. Look at that. Look how far he is out in front of him. Here comes that El Camino. Wow,
right on his tail.
Close, but could not stay on the track. And Paul moving on with that 80425. Alright, let's see how much charge I got on my phone. Hopefully we're at no more than 50. 67%, guys. We should be okay. Alright, how we doing out there? Welcome, welcome, guys. Alright, who's up next back there?
Jeremy Rodriguez in a 69 Dodge Charger.
Alright, Jeremy.
And the USA Joe,
Alright, thank you. Got him. Jeremy Rodriguez. And that Go Joe. Missy G driving, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright, who's you racing against?
Chad Darren in the 18 Ford Mustang.
Is it this one right here? Alright, found you. Alright, Mr. Chad. It's easier to find you when there's not 50 cars in the field no more. Alright, Chad's in lane 2. Go Joe, who's that? Jeremy Rodriguez, I believe, in lane 1. Best 2 out of 3. Who wants it more? Who's going to move on? Slide them up. Go Joe jumps out in front. Got a little bit of a lead. And that Mustang got sideways. Go Joe is moving on with the 82103. Alright. Chad moving over to lane 1. He's down by 1. Go Joe pulling over to lane 2. Up by 1. Alright. Let me get a drink here. Ah, yeah. That's right, Sean Cook. I posted on my YouTube channel over there at Juniors Raceway. On my YouTube channel, I'll post it later on so you can watch it at your convenience there. And alright, so right now we got Chad versus Jeremy up there. And also go over there and vote for your best in show there, Sean. Alright, here we go. All of my past videos. Give me a like, thumbs up, invite your friends. Sit down and watch it with your family. Here we go. Light them up. Go Joe's putting the block on Matt, isn't it? Oh, Matt drove underneath him. Coming around. Oh my lord. 10-0-0-3-0. You gotta see this. I've never seen that before. They're battling back and forth here, and here they come. And look at that. He drove underneath them and ties it up, right?
Was that Chad?
Yeah. My lord. Drove underneath G.I. Joe. You usually don't see that. Alright. G.I. Joe was chosen first, right?
Correct.
Alright. It is all tied up. My lord. What a wonderful pass by Chad there. Alright. Are we ready to roll out? Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Joe's out in front. Chad spun the tires back there, but here he comes. Oh, he gets sideways, and Joe's coming in backwards. 9-7-4-0-7. Wow, what a race. What a race. Chad gave it all he got and paid the price on the track. There we go. So Jeremy moving on over here. What a race. Wow. Drove underneath them and just could not finish though. Could not finish there.
Okay, next up we have is Scooter truck.
Uh-oh, Scooter in that truck. The last truck I believe here. Yep. Can he keep it alive? Who's he going up against?
Tim Wiley in the AMF.
Alright, should be this one right here, right? Alright, Mr. Tim Wiley. Hot jams. You guys can see that. That takes a second to focus. There we go. Hot jams. Alright, let's get them up here. Let's light them up. Tim in lane 1. Scooter Ford in lane 2 in that Chevy truck. Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. Here they come. Looks like the AMX is out in front. Scooter's trying, but here comes Tim in for the win. 7, 8, 2, 9, 1. Alright. So Scooter pulling over to lane 2. Tim over to lane 1. Up by 1 right now. Alright, here we go. Here they come. Tim's out in front again. Bigger lead this time. Can Sean catch him? And I don't think so. 8-1, 8-11. Putting Scooter Ford away. Putting that truck back on the trailer. And Tim moving on. Woo, getting down to it, boys and girls.
Alright.
Yep, Ragtag, you do have one in. I thought that was you.
Alright, next up we got Tooth Fairy in the Superbird.
Uh-oh, my Superbird. Here we go. I hope it stays alive. I hope I move on.
Going up against
Even though I don't want to win. I want one of you guys to win.
Stoner in the AMC Rebel.
Uh-oh, Robert Stoner's other car. I'm scared of his rides.
Say his other one's got fastest track time.
Yep, fastest track time. Can he do it again? Can he do it against me? Alright. Tooth Fairy up there versus Robert Stoner. Superbird versus AMC Rebel. One of the more popular cars in the Race for Freedom. Here we go. And a heads up, next year's race might be a 4-door race. And I'm thinking 4-door cars, pre-80s, pre-90s, I don't know. We got a whole year to think about it. It's hard to find 4-door vehicles out there, I know. Alright, but anyways, let's finish this race. Let's find a winner here tonight. Let's light them up. Here we go. Here they go. It's like AMX is out on me. He's got the lead. I bumped him, but Robert Stoner taking it with an 8-1, 2-2-1. Taking it from the outside, which isn't good for me. Alright, so Tooth Fairy moves to lane 2, down by 1. Robert pulls over to lane 1. He's up by 1 right now. Will he put me away at my own track? Here we go. Let's light him up. Here they come. He's got the lead again. Coming around. Looking good. Here he goes. And he does. 7-3, 4-2-5. Is that close to his other time?
It beats his other time, so that's now the fastest.
Look at that. He just beat his own time, so now I don't feel so bad.
There you go. Then you can.
Yeah, I do. I still don't like it. No.
Like it.
7-3, 4-2-5. Robert Stoner putting on a show here tonight. He's got not only the top time, but the second top time, guys. Is anybody going to beat him tonight? Oh, my Lord. It's not me in the Superbird. I can tell you that right now. Do I have to?
Yeah.
I have to?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Nope.
Free buy.
The hand has spoken.
All right, guys.
All right. Next up, we have John Miller in the 67 off-road Camaro.
All right, John Miller. All right. Who's he going up against?
Avocado.
Avocado. Uh-oh.
Oh, Randall, your car actually doesn't fit in there.
I'll cut one out. Just put it aside. I'll have to make a
I
special
put it on
case.
the side, so I put it on the side.
Sometimes I have to send special cases out for cars. All right, John Miller in that 67 off-road Camaro. And Mr. Avocado in lane 2 in that Corvette. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. John Miller's got a big lead. Can Mr. Avocado catch him? Here he comes. Winding those tires. 8-1-5-7-3. Putting Avocado away in that first race. Alright, John Miller pulling over to lane 2. Mr. Avocado in lane 1. As I say, you might want to check that music, make sure it's good. Alright. Will Avocado tie it up here? Will John Miller move on? Here we go. It's close. Mr. Avocado is in the lead, and John Miller lost it back there. Gave Avocado a chance to tie it up, which he did. 8-2-4-7-8. Tied it up and brought out those Autobots. Alright, where is... Alright. There he is. Alright, here we go. That's okay, Nick. I posted on YouTube later, buddy. You can go to my YouTube and watch it at, at your leisure there. Race part 1 is up there, because these races are kind of long. And race 2 will be up there after this also, sir. So, I appreciate everybody joining in, watching, sending cars in. Right now, we're all tied up with John Miller, and Mr. Avocado. Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. And that's John Miller out in front, keeping the lead, but here comes Avocado on his back door, but could not cut past him. So Mr. John Miller, J&J Racing, moving on at 8-5-5-5-7, putting Mr. Avocado away. Alright. Last 2 races for round 2, guys. No, we actually got a uneven mat. How did we end up doing that? Alright, so I guess we're going to have a buy drawing. Somebody's going to get a free buy, or no, they're going to have to race in. Somebody's going to have to race back in. Everybody from the round 1 and round 2, you're going to...
I was just going to ask you if you wanted to...
Yep, so we'll finish these last 2 races, and whoever the last racer is will have to race the buy guy. I thought I had to even them out, but that's okay. Let's get them down. Let's get them up there. Let's race them. Here we go.
We have a ragtag.
Ragtag. He's waiting. He's waiting to race. And that Pontiac Firebird.
I just put the big engine. Okay.
It was the Pontiac Firebird, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pontiac.
Well, his big engine was the other car, so I hope this is the one that made it in.
Are you kidding me? Hold on. Make sure.
Yeah, go back and check the latest day's race.
You can go ahead and pull Sean Cook's car.
Sean Cook is going up against whatever Ragtag won in yesterday. I don't think the big engine...
No, his Pontiac, no, the other Pontiac did not win.
Okay.
So this is the big engine?
No. No, this is the big engine car didn't do well. I'm sure it's this way.
Okay. I think I listed them both the same way.
Alright, so we got Ragtag up there in that Pontiac Firebird.
Going against Sean Cook in the 69 Charger.
69 Charger. Alright, here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. And that's Ragtag out in front. Here he comes, looking good. Putting Sean Cook away with a 7-9, 7-9, 6. Alright. Swap them up here at the top. Sean Cook pulling over lane 1. Ragtag in lane 2, up by 1 right now. Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. And that's Ragtag jumping out in front again. Can he hold the lead? Sean Cook is closing the door, but here he comes. It's close, but no, not enough. 9-3, 907. Ragtag, your winner, moving on. Mr. Sean Cook, thanks for racing right now. Right now, there's still a second chance. Second chance. Everybody's going back in the bucket. All right, who's the last 2 racers and who gets to race that second chance person?
Hold on just a second. First up, we got your Tooth Fairy in the 67 Camaro.
All right, so it's not me, but
Going against,
all right, I'm up next to race.
going against Cupcake
Uh-oh,
in the Freedom Mullet.
look at that.
There.
This has been a race over and over. We have raced each other back and forth, but right now, here we are at the Race for Freedom. Tooth Fairy in that Camaro against Cupcake in that Pontiac Firebird. Can he copy Jim and put my Camaro away? Or will I put Cupcake back on the shelf? Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. My Camaro's got the lead. Can I hold them off? Here I come. And Cupcake lost some steam back there. 8-6, 8-5, 3. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah. Where's he at? Oh, look at that. He stopped over here for some food. Lost, didn't have enough gas. Alright, so Cupcake moves over to lane 1. Tooth Fairy pulls over to lane 2. Alright, I'm up by 1 right now. Can Cupcake tie it up? Slide him up, here we go. Can't tell, the Firebird's out in front, and it looks like I lost it back there. The Cupcake's going to come across the line. 9, 2, 3, 4, 7. As I knock off Mr. Avocado. Alright, look at that. I'm on my lid over here. Cupcake put me on my lid. He must have dropped a cupcake on the track. Alright. So, I was in lane 1. Cupcake's in lane 2. Looks like Mr. Bob Stoddard finally joined us. How you doing, buddy? Man, you're going to have to go back and watch. Both your cars are in, and both of them got fast laps there. Actually, you got the fastest lap with that one. And the second fastest with that guy. You missed it. Alright, but we're all tied up right now. Like it should be, like it always is with the Tooth Fairy and the Cupcake. Alright, who's going to win it? Here we go. Slide them up. It's like I take the lead. Can I hold them off? Can I keep it on all fours? Looking good, looking good. Here I come, and yeah. 7, 9, 6, 8, 3. And Cupcake tries to hit me, but not today, sir. Alright, putting that Freedom mullet away.
Maybe.
Maybe. Watch him get the draw. Alright.
Alright, I gotta bring somebody back.
Oh, here, one more. You got the Cupcake. Alright, so Mr. Andrew, you are in lane 1, I guess. And person coming back, she's going to give me a car, I guess.
Okay, I got it. They were all in order, so I want to make sure I got it. Okay. So
Alright, guys. This is
Okay.
everybody's moving on to round 3 so far as we wait on a special buyback. One more racer we need.
Alright, the comeback kid is Reggie Sheldon. Sheldon in an 18 Mustang. Now I gotta find the car.
Alright, Mr. Reggie Shelton. I can't remember what car he had either.
There it is. It's 18 Mustang GT. Okay.
Alright.
Hold on.
Must make sure it must pass qualifier or inspection. Make sure it's a good. Alright, Mr. Reggie Shelton. You're a special buyback guy, but you have to race your way back in against Andrew there. Alright. Charger versus Mustang. Challenger versus Mustang up there. Alright, let's light them up. Andrew versus Reggie. Find out who's the final person in the round 3. Here we go. That Mustang jumps out in front. Here he comes. He's proven that he deserves that chance. Oh, double DNF. And remember, this is the second round, so you only get 2 DNFs before we go to DNF rules. So back in lane 2. Back in lane 1. Alright, who's hungry? Who wants it more? Here we go. Let's light them up. That Mustang jumped out in front again. Can he keep it together? Getting a little swirly. And that Charger come behind him. And that's the second double DNF. So
next race, whoever's getting farthest gets the W.
Yep. Gets the first W.
First strike, yeah.
First W. DNF rules are in the effect right now. Them DNF boys are out, as Josh would say. John. Sorry, I keep calling you John Miller. Them DNF boys are out, he would say. Here we go, let's light them up. Here they come. They look good until they get into turn 3. And looking good this time. Looking good. That Mustang coming across with a 7, 8, 3, 5, 6. As that Challenger loses it right in front of the Autobots. All right. Can the buyback kid come back? I think so. I don't know. He's got one more race to win against Andrew there. Can he do it, or will Andrew tie it up here? Here we go. Let's light him up. Here they come. That Mustang jumped out in front again, but remember, he gets a little swirly. Uh-oh, he's keeping it together this time. Smooth run for him. 8, 4, 9, 6, 6. Moving on to round 3. Officially the comeback kid.
Yep.
Mr. Andrew on his lid over here in front of the crash rescue station. Beautiful paint job. This one's got a vote. Again, guys, go to Juniors Raceway on YouTube and vote for your best in show, or get a hold of me, whatever it takes. Get those votes in. Somebody will win that sign and a couple prizes.
Sanders car.
Yep. All right. Are we ready to kick it off, or should we go to commercial?
Go to a quick commercial and grab a break.
Quick commercial. You guys want to take a quick break out there?
No, it'll go by fast. I just need to get my ducks in a row.
Oh, you just meant for you personally out there?
I don't want everybody to be in order.
All right.
Me.
I just need a drink.
Huh?
I just need a drink. I got it right here.
Okay.
How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you guys. We're trying to find that Race for Freedom winner tonight here at Juniors Raceway. The first of 4 tracks here. All right.
All right. Round 3.
Round 3.
First that we have is Loser in that 3D, the big old T.
Somebody, I hope he's still on.
And
He's wanting to see. He's right up here. He's jumping off the trailer saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to race. He's going into lane 1. Who's he going up against?
Crazy Canucks Mustang.
Uh-oh. Crazy Canuck, which is kind of funny because these are the first 2 cars that I got received here for this. All right. That Charger versus that Mustang up there. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. Best 2 out of 3 here. And should we go to 2 DNFs or just 1 DNF now?
Ooh, 1. Let's just make it.
All right, guys, we're down to 1 DNF, so strict rules. We're going to find a winner here. So we want your best racing. All right, Luther's on, ready to race. Are you up there, buddy? Are you in your beautiful ride? All right, he's dangerous because remember he won in that beautiful El Camino, the El Camino race. So can he take another of his 3D printed cars to victory lane? Here we go. Let's light him up. Here we go. He jumps out in front. Here they come. Looking good. Looking good. Crazy Canuck right on his tail. Crazy Canuck trying, and he does it. Crazy Canuck drive around him with an 8-4. Oh, my Lord. That is probably the best pass ever. He forced Luther Church out of the way.
Yeah, he did. Oh, he
Look
did.
at that. On the outside. Crazy Canuck. Wow. In lane 2 and from the outside in the last corner. Whoa. I cannot believe it.
That was some...
That was some racing. Crazy Canuck is here to win an American race. Will a Canadian win the American race? Wow. Here we go. That's crazy. That's Crazy Canuck in lane 1. Luther Church in lane 2, down by 1. Are we ready? Let's go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Crazy Canuck is out in front. Luther Church is way behind. I think he got hurt in that last one. I mean his car, not his feelings. 9, 1, 5, 3, 5. Crazy Canuck putting Luther Church away. Wow.
I am shocked.
I am shocked. Luther Church lost it right here. I think he blew a cylinder in the car. Wow. That was very polite for a Canadian. Alright. Canadian, moving on. What did I do? That's the wrong name tag. For some reason I got Ryan Lopez's name tag. How'd I do that? I moved him around. That's okay. I know what cars are what.
I hope so. All right, first up we've got is Matt.
I can't believe it, Big LC. I cannot believe it.
I know, I'm shocked.
I was scared. I was scared of your ride.
Yep.
All right,
So
who?
we're getting down to it. So we've got Matt Langfield in the 12 Camaro.
All right, 12 Camaro, Mr. Matt. We know that's a dangerous ride. Who's he going up against?
Robert Stoner in the AMC Rebel.
Uh-oh, the fastest
Is that the
racers.
fastest one?
Yep, the fastest racer of the night so far, Mr.
Oh,
Matt.
No, the Camaro is.
Camaro beat it?
Yeah, but the other one, I mean, the Rebel had the second.
All right.
Fastest.
Okay, so the second fastest. Not so dangerous, Matt, but you still got your hands full, buddy. All right, Mr. Matt up there in that 2012 Camaro. Robert Stoner in that AMC Rebel. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Can't tell. Looks like Matt's out in front. Yeah, here he comes. Looking good. I lost him for a second. And 7, 6, 2, 8, 4. Matt taking race 1. So Robert pulling over to lane 1 now, down by 1. Mr. Matt pulling over to lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. Here we go. Here we go. Let's light him up. And it's close. It's real close. But this time it looks like the AMC's out in front. And Mr. Robert Stoner going to tie it up with a 7.5. 9.07. Tied ball game. Autobots are out. Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Bye-bye Protrax car. Those are dangerous cars, but the Crazy Canuck's more dangerous. All right, here we go. It's all tied up. Matt up there versus Mr. Robert. All right, let's light them up. Let's roll out. Here we go. And I can't tell. Looks like Matt jumped out in front. And the AMC's right on his tail, but could not pull it off. 7, 9, 6, 2, 6. And Matt's happy, jumping up and down as he moves on and puts away one of the fastest cars. See, not only do you got to be fast, but you got to know how to stay alive and race this track.
How many times have we seen it on both tracks?
Yep.
The fastest time gets taken out by skill.
You got to be skilled, she says back there. You got to have your car tuned and your mind set.
I didn't say all that.
That's what she said. I heard her.
That's not what I said. All right, we got the comeback kid, Reggie Sheldon.
All right, Reggie Shelton right off the trailer.
In that 18 Mustang.
All right.
And you're going against John Miller in a 67 off-road Camaro.
All right. Here he goes. John Miller in lane 2. Mr. Reggie in lane 1. Chevy versus Ford up there. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. Here they come. That Mustang jumped out in front. Can John catch them? Close back there. They had some bumping, but that Mustang coming across the finish line. 8.7402. And he pushed John into the rocks over here. All right. So John pulling over to lane 1 now, right? Down by 1. Mr. Reggie over to lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. Awesome, awesome. I appreciate it, Lutheran Church. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, here we go. Slide them up. Yeah, I just need the bottoms. That's all I need, really, is the bottoms for these guys. I got 2 of these with no bottoms. I'd like to build one of them. I was wondering how I'd do that. All right, but right now, Reggie's up by 1, right? The Mustang is up by 1. Here we go. Here they come. That Mustang is out in front. He's out in front. John's trying to catch him big time. And he drove underneath him. Oh, my Lord. 90468. We are having tons of drive-bys tonight. I cannot believe this racing going on. Look at this. Underneath them. Wow. Tied it up. Stayed alive. Autobots are out. Woo! Alright. So Reggie was first, right?
Yep.
All tied up, man. They are racing over here at Junior's Raceway for the Race for Freedom. Everybody's passing and gassing, and man, what a night. Here we go. Slide them up. That Mustang jumped out in front, but remember, John can do it. Mustang spun around backwards looking for John. He's not wanting him to pass him this time. 8, 6, 5, 9, 5. And I don't know what happened to John, but he just drove over the Mustang. Oh man, that off-road is out. And the comeback kid is, man, he's making it.
He's going to make his second chance count.
Making it all count tonight. Making it count. Third car moving on. We got Camaro, a Mustang, and a Mustang. All right.
All right, we got Paul in that Corvette.
Paul in the Corvette. All right.
Going against Ragtag in that Pontiac.
Pontiac. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess I could do that, Mike. Yep, that would be easy enough. Just trace it out and cut it out. I got me a new Dremel tool. That should work. Haven't opened it yet, but good idea, good idea. Alright, but whatever. We got Paul up there versus Ragtag. Corvette versus a Firebird. Nice looking cars. Here we go. I believe both those are from this year's set. The not Race for Freedom set, but the Hot Wheels flag set or whatever you call it. Here we go. Let's light them up. Paul's out in front. Can Ragtag catch him? Here we go. Paul's coming close to the finish line. 8:05:33. Paul taking race 1. All right. So Ragtag pulling over to lane 1. He's down by 1. Paul over to lane 2, looking to put him away and be the 4th driver to move on. Here we go. Let's light him up. That Corvette's out in front by a little bit, but got spun backwards by Ragtag. And Ragtag's looking to open the door and pass him, but could not find his way around him. 8:57:19. Putting Ragtag back on the trailer. Beautiful ride, sir. The Stars and Stripes edition. There we go. There we go. So, 4th car moving on, getting down to it. Look at that field, guys. I'm excited to find out who's going to win this.
All right, next up we have Chad in that Ford Shelby.
Ford Shelby. Chad. Alright, I believe his other car got taken out already, but he's still got this one. Here we go. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, buddy. Here we go. Who's up next?
Tim Wiley in the AMX.
Uh-oh, the AMX. Tim Wiley. Where's the this one right here? Alright. Mr. Chad versus... Oh, I didn't see that, Chad. Are you okay in there? I hope you had your 5-port harness on. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. Shaking you up a little too much. Alright. Alright, guys. Chad up there in that Ford Chevy GT versus Tim Wiley in that AMX. Beautiful ride. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. It's like Chad jumped out in front. Can he keep it together? That AMX is right on his tail, but wow, close racing. 7-4-2-3-5.
Who was that?
Chad in that
Ford Shelby.
Yep. Couldn't get out Mustang. I don't know why. Alright, so Tim pulls over to lane 1, down by 1 now. Chad over to lane 2, up by 1. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here we go. That AMX is out in the head this time. He's got the lead, but he's a little swirly. Chad's trying to make a pass, and Tim keeps it together for an 8-3-7-2-2, which brings out those Autobots. Ties it up, ties it up. Alright, guys, I hope I'm not shaking you up too much. Giving you a seizure out there. Alright, Chad was chosen first, right? Lane 1, Tim in lane 2. All tied up here at the Race for Freedom. Woo! It's getting hot in here. Who's going to win it? Mr. Chad or Tim? Let's light them up. Here they go. AMX was out in front, but the Mustang, or is that Camaro? Chad turned on the juice and come in with the victory. 8-3-4-7-1. Putting Mr. Tim away. right, wow. 5th driver moving on. Are you putting everybody's name back in again? I was gonna say maybe just around 2 people, but that's okay. Should have told you that earlier.
Yeah, we'll just put everybody back in. All right, next up we have is Arlo in that Corvette.
Uh-oh, Arlo in that Corvette.
Going against Cupcake's Gauntlet.
All right, Cupcake's Gauntlet. All right, for some reason I got his name tag back here. And I should have the Crazy Canuck. So I got those 2 backwards. So Arlo in that Corvette versus Cupcake. Uh-oh, this is another ongoing race. Cupcake's got a lot of enemies, doesn't he? We call them frenemies, don't we?
You say you have the Crazy Canuck?
Crazy Canuck, yeah.
Mustang?
Yep. All right, Arlo up there in that Grand Sport Corvette versus Cupcake in that Mustang Fox body. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Arlo jumps out in front. Can he keep it together? Getting those swirling backwards. They're bumping nose to bumper. Oh, wow. Arlo was upside down, but I believe come across the finish line on his lid. Wow.
Oh, he's turned. Okay. Okay. Oh, he's on his... Ooh.
Yep.
Who are you giving that one to?
I was going to give it to Arlo, but...
All right.
Is it playing again for you?
That's you playing it again.
Watch it one more time. I think
Yeah, okay.
It was Arlo, yep. It was Arlo by a bumper.
Yeah.
Arlo by a bumper, wow. On his lid.
All right, Cupcake. You got to come back.
Oh, man.
Woo! Bring out the Autobot.
Arlo was on his lid, but had enough momentum to cross the finish line in front of the Cupcake, which is in lane 1 right now. Needs to tie it up. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Arlo's a little bit out in front, but Cupcake can catch up. And he does. Same scenario, but wow, man. Those guys like racing like that.
They do.
8, 5, 4, 6, 3 of Mr. Arlo moving on and putting that beautiful Race for Freedom car away. Appreciate you, Cupcake. Don't tell anybody I said that.
It's out there for all to hear.
All right. All right, guys, let me group these together a little bit better. Yeah, we will need one more racer.
Yep. All right, you're up next. Tooth Fairy.
Uh-oh, Tooth Fairy in lane 1.
Oh, sorry, hon. You know it's such a draw, right?
Rob Stoner.
Yep.
Rob Stoner, uh-oh.
Camaro race.
2 Camaros going at it. Beautiful looking rides up there. Tooth Fairy in that 67 Camaro. Rob Stoner in that 70 Camaro. All right, here we go. Let's light them up. It's close. Tooth Fairy's out in front. Can he hold him off? I can't. Oh, Rob Stoner drove around me, but wow.
That is DNF number 1. The next one is the farthest.
Furthest on the track. It's 1 DNF, guys. We are not playing around here. So, Tooth Fairy in lane 1. Robert Stoner in lane 2. All right. The Peacemaker car. You talking about that one right there? Is that one you're talking about there, Ryan Lopez? If you are, that's for, I said Ryan Lopez. I'm sorry. That's for Uncle Joe, if that's what you're talking about. Here we go. Let's line them up. Here he comes. Looks like the Camaro's out in front of me. Stoner's out. Oh, I passed him. I passed him underneath for the victory. 8-7. Wow. Wow. Can't believe it. I was in the lead, then he took the lead, and then here I come underneath him. Wow.
You're bumping, he's bumping. He tried.
Wow.
If he had had just probably another 6 inches of track, he would have been in trouble.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that show. Don't know if I've seen it. I have to look it up. Looks like a car from a show, huh? All right. Robert Stoner down by 1 in lane 1 now. Two Ferry in lane 2 up by 1. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Looks like Stoner's out in front this time. Taking no chances. Here he comes. Looks like I lost it back there by Bigfoot. 75962. Bringing out those Autobots. And, yep, sure did. Lost it right by Bigfoot. All right. Here we go, boys. All or nothing right here. Two Ferry versus Robert Stoner Camaro race. All right. Are we ready? Let's light them up. Here we go. Looks like Robert's out in front. Can I pass him somehow? Here I come. Right on his bumper, but not enough horsepower. 8, 8, 2, 3, 3. And putting my second right away. All right.
There will be a second chance.
All right, Robert Stoner moving on though. And that he's got the fastest time in that ride, right?
He does.
So I had my hands full. It was close, but all right. I see Mr. Jeremy popping on. How you doing, buddy? I don't know if you missed your races. I don't know if you're still in, but you can always catch them on Junior's Raceway on YouTube. Remember, everybody, I need those votes. Help me find out who's the best in show. I want to get as many votes as possible. Give away some beautiful prizes here. Not only we'll give away that first place winner, best in show, and we'll also do the fastest lap. So right now, Robert, you got a prize coming to you if you keep it alive. All right, but let's finish this race. Let's find that winner. Let's see who's going to win that tonight.
All right, we've got Andrew in the Dodge Dart.
Dodge Dart. I know which one that is.
Going against Jeremy in the USA Joe one.
Is this Jeremy Rodriguez?
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Arlo, hopefully by the end of this month, buddy. I got them all lined up here, ready to race. Hopefully within the next couple weeks. I might record that one and just throw it up on YouTube. Might be just a little bit easier for me. But by the end of this month, I say we should have this one finished. All right, but right now we got Andrew in that Dodge Dart, cat driving, and we got Jeremy in that 69 Dodge Charger. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. That Dodge Dart is out in front. Gave Jeremy a little push in turn 1 and spun over near the crash lane, and Jeremy drove underneath them. 88499 for the win. That deserves a replay. The Dart was out in front, taking care of business. Spun over, and Jeremy saw it and drove right underneath them. Wow, great driving there, sir. Go Joe. Or Jeremy. All right, where is he? Oh, right there by the crash rescue station. All right, so that Dodge Dart moves over to lane 2 now. Jeremy pulls over to lane 1. He's up by 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jeremy's up by 1.
Yeah, Jeremy's up by 1.
Jeremy's up by 1. Can he move on with this race? Or will that Dodge Dart come back and stay alive? Here we go. G.I. Joe's out in front. Just got to hold it together. That Dart's right on his tail, but not enough horsepower. 83808. Jeremy moving on. Taking out Andrew and that beautiful Dart. That car should get a vote or two. It's beautiful. Good build, sir. Good build. Good racing also. Unfortunately, you went up against Jeremy, who put it to you tonight. Alright, so the last 2 racers, and then we'll get a buyback in.
Alright, so...
Which, right now, that's working for Reggie, so could be a good...
There we go. Okay, we got Jeremy Rodriguez's other vehicle.
Uh-oh, Jeremy's got 2 in?
Yep. Going against Ryan Kelly's Cougar.
Uh-oh, can he keep both of his vehicles in, which I think Matt has both of his vehicles in still?
Matt...
No, he got one out.
No, he lost one, yeah.
So if he keeps both of his
Jeremy's
in...
the only one that has 2.
Yep.
Right? Who's the...
thought one of...
Matt's got another one that's coming up in the next race.
Oh, okay, so Matt's still got a chance.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeremy's got a chance to keep 2 cars alive, and so does Matt coming up next. All right, but right now we got Ryan Lopez in that 69 Camaro Love USA, which has my vote for best in show, against Ryan Kelly in that 68 Mercury Cougar. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. I can't tell. Looks like the Cougar jumped out in front. And Love USA spun around. And wow, that Cougar gained speed. 7.3443. That's a close time of Ryan Kelly.
Oh no. Barely. I mean, this is...
All right. Jeremy messed up over there in the turn. So Jeremy goes over to lane 2. Ryan in the lane 1, who's probably got the second place fastest time now.
Yeah.
All right.
Barely.
By I don't even know what it's, by a couple of numbers. Here we go. Let's light them up. Ryan looking for a win. No.
Okay, we got Ryan's up by 1. Right?
Oh yeah, that was that Cougar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Confirmation. The Cougar won. I lost my train of thought. I believe so. All right. So Jeremy looking to stay alive here. Here we go. Let's light them up. That Cougar's out in front. Jeremy's trying, but does not have enough. All right, 7.5936. Puts that car back in the car show, I guess. Back on the trailer. And Ryan Kelly staying alive in that Cougar.
All right.
Got my vote to win the race. I like the Cougars.
Okay, so we've got last race of this round is Matt in that Mustang.
So we got Matt in that Mustang. Can he keep 2 vehicles alive?
No, who's he going against? Who's coming back? Who's coming back?
And the car will have to pass inspection. We have to make it a good race. So
Come on, it's V3D one. Let me see. Ragtag Pontiac.
Ragtag and that Pontiac's coming back alive. He was a good racer.
Ooh, I like that. This one's on my... I kind of like it, that one.
So Ragtag wins that comeback against Matt. And there we go. All right, will he stay alive? Best 2 out of 3 here. Last race, we're moving on to round 3, right? Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Matt's out in front. Ragtag's right on his bumper. Or he was, but Matt kicked in the horsepower.
Right.
Slides in sideways with a 7, 8, 9, 16. Matt keeping it alive. He wants some signs for his new track. That's what he wants. He wants those new signs for his track. I hear you, buddy. Those will look beautiful on your track. All right, here we go. Ragtag in lane 1, down by 1. Matt in lane 2, up by 1 right now. Slide them up. Looks like Ragtag's in the lead this time. I lost him, but here I get. Ragtag is in the lead, and Matt was trying, but 8.0923 tied it up. Tied it up. Brought out those Autobots. Last race of this round. See, that was Matt in lane 1, Ragtag in lane 2. All right. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. That's Matt out in front. He's got the lead. Ragtag tried, but Matt kicked in the horsepower. 7.4632. And Ragtag comes back in and goes right back out.
That's all right. Hey, it was worth a try, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys. Matt's got 2 in the next round.
He does.
All right.
All right, give me just a second.
2, 4, 6, 8. All right, we got an even field.
Quick.
Even field, guys. Even field. This is your racers.
There are no comebacks.
No more comebacks.
Right?
2, 4. Is this 8 cars? 2, 4.
To go to 4 to 2.
That's 10.
What?
Probably will be. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, it might be a comeback.
Aw, I was hoping that this was it, but that's okay. Okay.
Should we make the comeback just these last guys?
Yeah, they traveled this far.
All right, guys. If you go back, if you cut the racers who go out this round, if we need you in the next couple rounds, you get a chance to come back.
You get to come back.
Yep.
Just because you guys have already come this far.
Yep. So,
Okay, first up we have Matt.
Matt, right off the field. Which
Yep.
one? Is it the one that just raced?
The Mustang.
The Mustang, yep. Uh-oh.
Yep.
I hope you got time to change those plugs and tires.
Guess who you're going again?
Uh-oh, Robert.
Robert.
Uh-oh. I think Matt put away the AMC, didn't he? So, he...
I did. Oh.
In this Mustang, or...
Yeah, this is Robert. Okay, this is Matt's Mustang.
or
No, the Camaro took out the AMC.
All right, so your Camaro took out the AMC. Can your Mustang take out the Camaro? Uh-oh. Anyways, we got Matt up there in lane 1 against Robert Stoner in lane 2. Getting down to the last few races here for the Race for Freedom winner. Here we go. Best 2 out of 3. 1 DNF rules. Here we go. Here they come. Looks like Matt jumps out in front, gets a little sideways. They lost a lot of speed up there, but Matt's coming in backwards and coming across with a 10.5.047. Mr. Matt. Alright, so Robert pulling over to lane 1. Trying to get that car tuned right. Trying to stay alive. He's down by 1 right here. Matt's in lane 2. Alright, let's light him up. Here we go. Looks like the Camaro's out in front. Get a little sideways, and the Camaro got lost up there in their cornfield. And Matt is just taking his time. Not taking no chances and losing 11.6.391. Saving that car for the next round.
Alright, so
As the Camaro
nice.
loses it. Wow. All
Matt
right.
has taken out
Jaws of life. Wow.
both of Mr. Stoner's vehicles
Matt
at
is
the end.
serious tonight. Matt is
But-
serious.
But
Jaws of life. Oh, I missed it. Ah.
but he can always come back.
All right, coming right to you.
Alright, he can always come back.
So Matt, first one, moving on. First one, congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Don't know if it was a fair race. Yeah, you guys are giving it everything.
Yeah, you guys are.
Giving it everything.
He is at the end.
Those cars are taking abuse. Been racing and racing and racing.
Alright, we got Ryan Kelly in the Cougar.
Ryan Kelly, Corvette, or Cougar, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Against Arlo's Corvette.
That's funny, that's the one I accidentally grabbed. All right, Ryan Kelly versus Arlo here. This should be a good race. All right. Ryan Kelly in that Mercury Cougar. Arlo in that Grand Sport Corvette. All right, let's light them up. Here we go. It's like that Cougar jumped out in front. Can he keep the lead? Yes, he does. Arlo messed up back there, and that Cougar is dangerous. 7.3.403. Mr.
Yep.
Ryan Kelly. Fastest time?
Yep.
Fastest time. Yeah, buddy. And Arlo loses it back there where Robert Stoner lost it. Looks like you guys are turning up the power and coming out of turn 2 a little too fast. Jaws of life's got you, buddy. Alright. So swapping lanes. Arlo's in lane 1. He's down by 1. Ryan Kelly's in lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. Alright, let's light him up. Here we go. Here they come. Ryan Kelly jumps out in front. And he tuned it right that time. Spun around. They both spun around right in front of each other. And Ryan Kelly, or Arlo, brings it in for 9.3.466. Ties it up to stay alive. Brings out those Autobots.
No.
Here we go. So Ryan Kelly was chosen first. He's in lane 1.
Yep.
Arlo in lane 2. All tied up here. Who's moving on? Are we ready to roll out? Let's roll. Here we go. Here they come. Ryan Kelly's out in front. Can Arlo catch him? Got tangled up back there. And Ryan Kelly coming in with the 8.2.9.59 as Arlo drives in. Alright. Nice looking ride, but not the right tune in that race. Especially against the fastest ride of the night. Alright, first 2 cars moving on. Matt and Ryan so far. who will join those guys. Woo! Got it back there?
Huh?
Ready?
Oh, sorry. All right, we got Crazy Canuck in that Mustang versus
Crazy.
Matt's Camaro.
Matt, you got your hand full again, Matt. Crazy Canuck ain't no slouch. Matt in lane 2. Crazy Canuck in lane 1. Mustang versus Camaro. Ford versus Chevy here. Here we go, the way it should be. I hope the last race is like that. Here we go. Slide them up. Crazy Canuck jumps out in front. Matt's right on his tail, but here he comes, closing the gap. Not enough room though. 80276. Crazy Canuck taking the first win. Alright, so Matt pulling over to lane 1 now. Crazy Canuck over to lane 2. Will this crazy Canadian win the American race? Here we go. Let's light them up. Matt jumps out in front. Can he hold him off? Coming around, looking good, looking good. Coming across the victory lane. 7.5, 870. Tying it up. Bringing out those Autobots, of course. Alright. So Crazy Canuck's in lane 1, right?
Yep.
Matt's in lane 2. All tied up here. Some good racing going on. Who's going to move on? Crazy Canuck or Matt? Here we go. Let's light them up. Looks like Crazy Canuck is out in front. Gaining a little speed, but here comes Matt. Tried, but did not have it. 81609. Put Matt's one car back on the trailer. Crazy Canuck moving on.
Alrighty, up next we have Jeremy Rodriguez's USA Joe
Alright, Jeremy Rodriguez is last.
versus our comeback kid. Reggie.
Excuse
Can you
me.
imagine if Reggie wins it all?
With a comeback.
Yep.
Alright. We got Jeremy Rodriguez and that USA Joe with Misty G driving against Mr. Reggie Shelton, comeback kid in that Mustang. Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. And it's close. I think G.I. Joe's out in front. Yeah, he is. Gets a little swirly, but the Mustang lost it back there, giving G.I. Joe a win. 83344. And Mustang got sideways behind the shop.
Oh, and you know what Jeremy just did?
What's that?
Got the fastest time.
That was the fastest time?
Yep, 833.
You mean 733 is the fastest time, baby?
Oh, I was wondering, it felt a little slow. But then I thought, well, I'm doing two things back here. Never mind.
Yeah.
Please.
Alright, so Jeremy got a win there, not the fastest time, but Reggie is looking to tie it up here. Here we go, let's light him up. It's close. It's real close. Oh, Jeremy's looking to try and drive around him, but Reggie had the right tune that time. 80191. Tied it up.
Oh.
Tied it up.
You guys just want this race to keep on going.
Brought out those Autobots. Alright, so that was the Joe car first, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy in lane 1. Reggie in lane 2. All tied up. Looking to go on. Here we go. Let's light them up. Joe car's out in front. Can he keep it together? Getting a little sideways. Oh, Reggie bumped him, but got stuck in almost the same exact spot as last time. 93886. Jeremy moving on. As Reggie likes to park it right here behind Luthel Church's vehicles. Alright, last two racers. I just need to know who gets lane 1.
Alright. Lane 1 is...
We got Paul versus
Paul.
Chad. So Paul is in lane 1.
Yep, and
Chad is in lane 2. Alright, we got a Corvette versus a Shelby GT. Another Ford versus Chevy match. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Looks like that Corvette is out in front. And that Mustang got a little swirly back there. And that Corvette comes across with a 7.6974. Mr. Paul taking race 1. Alright. So Paul moving over to lane 2. Chad pulling over to lane 1. Chad's down by 1 right now, looking to tie it up. Here we go. Slide him up. There you go. Chad is out in front this time. Can he keep it together? Paul was trying to pass him, but paid the price. 81340. Bringing out those Autobots. Alright. So that's Chad in lane 2 now. And Paul spun out right behind the shop. So he's in lane 1. They're all tied up here at Juniors Raceway. Looking to move on. Man, we're getting down to it. We're going to have a winner tonight, guys. Are you ready? Are you excited out there? I know I am. A lot of cars in this race. Here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. That Corvette's out in front. Can he keep it together? I think something happened to Chad. I hear him still rolling, but 8-2-3-7-4. Paul putting Chad away. Sorry there, Chad. Not the right tune that race. Alright, guys. Those are your 5 guys moving on. So we need one more guy to join them, which is going to be chosen from that last group to come back. So we're going to go ahead and choose one guy so he gets back in the mix.
Okay. Who is it going to be? It is going to be Matt.
Alright. Mr. Matt gets his car.
His Camaro back in there.
Gets his Camaro back in there somehow. Matt gets his Camaro back in there.
Too funny.
And remember, Matt, you can send me my money at... Nope.
Yeah, I take that, Mom.
Alright. So those are the 6 cars trying to battle it out for the race for freedom. We got Matt in a Camaro. We got Matt in a Mustang. We got Ryan Kelly in a Mercury Cougar. We got Crazy Canuck in a Mustang. We got Jimmy Rodriguez in that G.I. Joe car. And Paul in that Corvette. Are we ready to find out who's going to take it tonight? Let's find out now.
Alright, we got Matt in that Camaro versus Ryan Kelly in the Cougar.
Alright, wow. This should be a good race. Matt in lane 1. Ryan Kelly in lane 2. Alright, here we go. Let's light them up. Here they come. Matt jumps out in front. Can he keep it together? Getting a little swirly. Ryan Kelly's right on his tail, but does not have enough track. 8-3-0-40. Matt wins first race. So Matt moving over to lane 2. Ryan Kelly over to lane 1. Alright, let's light them up. Here we go. Ryan Kelly jumps out in front. Can he hold him off? I think Matt drove around him. No, that's Ryan Kelly. 7.5658. Kicked in the turbos somewhere. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if we can catch it on camera or not. He just took off, Ryan Kelly did. Alright, so it's all tied up now.
You can do it all for the marble.
Yep. Matt in lane 1, Ryan Kelly in lane 2. Who's going to be the first one to move on? Here we go. Let's light them up. It's close. Matt's got the lead just by a little bit. Took advantage out of turn 1. Here he comes, looking good. And takes his first ride and knocks out Ryan Kelly. Man, beautiful. Beautiful. But Matt taking it. Putting out the fastest car, right? Putting out the fastest car of the night, I believe.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly said.
Alright, so
the fastest. It happens, it does.
Alright, keep this group aside too, just in case.
Yep, I will. Alright, next up we have Crazy Canuck against Paul.
Alright.
We've got Crazy Canuck's Mustang versus Paul's Corvette.
Alright, Crazy Canuck in lane 1. Paul in lane 2. Are we ready? Let's light them up. Here we go. Crazy Canuck jumps out in front. Here he comes. Paul's right on his bumper, but that's Crazy Canuck with the 7, 8, 2, 5, 6. All right. Paul pulling over to lane 1. He's down by 1. Crazy Canuck in lane 2. He's up by 1 right now. All right, here we go. Let's light him up. That Corvette jumped out in front. Is he going to tie it up? I believe so. Looking good. 79095. Tied it up. Of course, brought out those Autobots. All right. Crazy Canuck's in lane 1, correct? Crazy Canuck in lane 1. Paul in lane 2. It's all or nothing right here. Here we go. Here they come. Crazy Canuck is out in front. Can he hold off the lead? And Paul drove underneath him. Paul just took it up from Crazy Canuck. 8-1-3-15. Oh my Lord. He drove underneath him for the win, taking out the Canadian.
Here he
Wow.
goes.
Oh my Lord. 8-1-3-15. But not only that, takes out the Canadian.
Oh, but
Wow.
It may not be the end.
Wow. Paul moving in with Matt. Wow, wow, wow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So who's in lane 1? Who's in lane 2?
Lane 1 is Matt.
Matt's in lane 1. Jeremy Rodriguez is in lane 2. Are we ready? Let's light them up. Here we go. Matt jumped out in front. Can he keep it together? He's looking good. Is he going to have to race his own car? Here comes Jeremy bumping him, but not enough. 8-4-9-1-7. Jeremy was gaining ground big time, but just did not know the way around Matt. All right, so Jeremy in lane 1 now. Matt in lane 2. All right, here we go. Let's line them up. Here they come. Jeremy's out in the lead this time. Can he hold off Matt and bring out those Autobots? He's looking good, looking good. 7-6-8-5-4. Ties it up. Brings out those Autobots, guys. Woo, doggy. All right, so that's Matt in lane 1. Jeremy in lane 2. All right, guys. All right, all right. Here we go. Who's going to take it? Matt or Jeremy? Here we go. Matt jumps out in front. Can he hold them off? They both get together up there. And Matt come out ahead. And here he comes, taking a second ride.
He's going to end up racing himself in.
Yep. It's going to be a Matt race tonight. Nat 90968. Matt is just picking the right drivers to go against. Hey, we got 2 of Matt's cars and 1 of Paul's cars. And we need a comeback guy from the last round.
Are you guys ready? So we've got Matt's Mustang, Matt's Camaro, Paul's Corvette, and...
We need a Chevy. Or no, we got a Mustang. We got 2 Chevy. We need a Mustang.
This is like the bingo on TV, honey. I can't tell what my hand is doing.
Yeah.
It's Jeremy's Charger.
That the one that just went out?
Yeah.
All right, Matt. You're going to have to beat it again then.
All right. The odds of Matt are winning are 50-50.
All right, guys. Your final 4. That should be it. So congratulations, Jeremy, Matt, Paul, and Matt again. The final 4 racers here for the Race for Freedom. Who is going to take it and win that beautiful sign along with a couple beautiful prizes.
Hold on.
All right.
You got me. I got a lot of stuff to learn. Okay, last.
Will Matt race his own car now, or will he?
Nope, it's Paul playing the Corvette versus Matt's Camaro.
All
So
right.
it's not going to be a Matt race.
No Matt race yet. Matt's got to win this race.
Yeah. True.
All right. Here we go. Paul in lane 1. Matt in that Camaro in lane 2. The 2 Chevys going at it. Oh, here we go. Let's light them up. Will it be Paul or Matt moving on to the championship match? Good luck, gentlemen. Race for Freedom here. Here we go. It's close. It is close. Looks like Paul's out in front. Matt passed him. Matt drove around him for the win. 8-1-4-4-6.
He wants to.
Man.
He wants to guarantee.
Oh my
he's in
Lord.
there.
Here, you watch this. Matt was losing the whole time, and they said, "Wait a minute! Oh
I
man!
forgot I have to win this."
Matt winning race 1 from the outside. Man, Matt is here to race. And he pulls over to lane 1, up by 1 right now. Paul in lane 2, shaking his head, doesn't know what happened. Here we go, let's light him up. Matt jumps out in front. Here he comes. Is he going to take race 2? Gets a little sideways. Paul's trying to find the door opening, but no. He puts Paul away with a bunch of 8s and a 1. Knocking that beautiful Corvette out. Let's flip it over. Sorry there, Paul. Thanks for coming, guys. Woo! Man, Matt is driving the wheels off of them tonight, boys and girls. And moving on to the championship match. Will he race his other ride? Will it be a Matt and Matt final? All right.
Lane 1 is Jeremy in the USA Joe.
Are these the 2 cars that fought earlier, or was it the other one? Did he race the Camaro or the Mustang, the Charger?
Staying in the US. No, it is. You guys already ran this one.
So this is the same race, but lane swapped. So Jeremy's in lane 1. Matt is in lane 2. Will it be a Matt race, or will Jeremy shut him down and say, I want a championship match? Here we go. Let's find out, boys and girls. Let's light them up. Here they come. It's close. That's Jeremy out in front, coming around. And, they got together. So that's 1 DNF. We're on DNF rules now.
That's it. Next race. You guys don't make the finish line.
Jeremy in lane 1, Matt in lane 2. All right, DNF rules are out. Furthest on the track gets that first win. Here they come. Looks like G.I. Joe's out in front. Can he keep it together? Think he's going to come in for the win. Matt's trying to catch up, but no. 8-3-9-7-9. All right. Will Jeremy win this one and race Matt again in the other car?
In the other car, or is it going to be a Matt versus Matt?
Yeah. All right, so.
Because we've either got Matt's got to win it to tie it up.
Yep, Matt's got to win this one to tie it up, stay alive.
It's out. It's DNF rules.
Here we go. Backwards.
They're going backwards.
Here comes Jeremy. Here comes Jeremy backwards. He took a hit on Matt. And man.
I'm doing it.
Man, it's not how you finish, but if you finish. Man, he took Matt out big time. 11, 2, 4, 10. Moving on.
He will not have 2 cars in the end.
I don't know what happened, but I heard it, man. Wow. Jaws of life there for Matt. All right, buddy. So, wow. After all that, we got Jeremy Rodriguez
comeback.
In the comeback kid in that G.I. Joe against Matt in that 2012 Camaro. And these guys have already met once before, and Matt came out ahead. So, Jeremy, this is your chance to take revenge, take it all, or will Matt win it and move to that winner's circle? We are finally here, guys. After 2 weeks and many hours, the champion match, best 3 out of 5. Here we go. Who's in lane 1?
Lane 1 is Jeremy, the USA Joe.
All right, Jeremy gets lane 1. So this is actually opposite their other race. Jeremy in lane 1 in that G.I. Joe car. Matt in lane 2 in that 2012 Camaro. Your championship match here at Juniors Raceway. Race for freedom. Best 3 out of 5. Are you ready? Here we go. They're lined up. Let's light them up and let's race. Here they come. Jeremy's out in front. He's got the lead. Matt's right behind him. Tried to drive around him, but Jeremy kept it together with a 7-8-0. 3-2. Jeremy takes race 1. swapping lanes. Swapping lanes. Matt in lane 1. Jeremy in lane 2. Are we ready? Woo! Did I mess up, Matt? Last time? Jeremy was chosen first, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Matt likes the other.
Alright, here we go. Jeremy's up by 1. Here we go. Can Matt come back and stay? Yep, he's coming around. Keeping it alive. 8, 6, 7, 5, 4. Matt taking race 2. Staying alive, staying alive. 1-1. So Jeremy back in lane 1. Matt in lane 2. Woo! Is it gonna be a back and forth battle?
I think it is.
Here we go.
Diesel.
Here he comes. Oh, Matt drove around him, didn't he? No. Yeah, Joe car. 8, 2, 3, 2, 6. All right.
All right, we got Jeremy up 2.
Jeremy's up.
Matt's 1.
Jeremy's up 2.
That's 3 out of 5.
And Jeremy's up by 2, right? So 1,
Yep.
2.
So
No.
Jeremy will be in lane 2.
Okay, thank you. Matt in lane 1, he's got 1 race under his belt. Jeremy's in lane 2 with 2 races under his belt. Matt needs to win this to stay alive. Here we go. Here he comes. He's looking good. He's going to stay alive. Here comes Jeremy trying to close the race, but no. Wow. 7-9, 7-4-3. And just like that, we got ourselves a sudden death match.
Another.
Wouldn't you know it? All right.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
This is it.
Autobots are out.
Matt in lane 2. Jeremy, Misty G in lane 1. Woo! This is all the marbles right here, boys and girls. This is what it's all come down to. I hope you guys enjoyed racing. I hope I did you proud. Thanks for building it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Who is going to take it here? Matt in lane 2 or Jeremy in lane 1? Here we go. Let's light them up. Jeremy jumps out in front. Can Matt come from behind? He's trying. He's trying.
Oh,
Wow.
gun.
8-0-8-8-3. And like that, Jeremy Rodriguez with the comeback wins it. Wow. Matt gets second place. Fighting hard, but Jeremy, congratulations there, buddy. Oh, as you roll off with that, you're so fast, you roll off everybody rolls off that thing. Alright guys, I appreciate everybody. That was some great racing, some hard racing, and whatever. Jeremy gets 1, Matt gets 2. You both are winners in my book. Great racing, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. And you guys will move on to round 2. And we'll see you back here for round 4. Remember, get your votes in. Go to Juniors Raceway and get those votes in. And Jeremy, once again, congratulations. A hard-fought battle. Hard-fought battle. Here we go. Good night, guys. Who dat?